Well, thank you, Jess, and good evening to you all. As a lifelong fan returning to the sport, this room has a lot to be proud of. Last time around, my challenge to the supercars industry was a pretty simple one, that this series was literally the best secret worst told. And returning some 8 years later, I've got to say the secret is well and truly out, and the sport is in incredible health. The question, I think, for us all in this room is the sport in its rightful place? And I would argue, given the passion, dedication, the commitment, and the show that this room puts on, that you deserve more. We can all achieve more by being focused, by being unified, and really looking at the status quo and whether or not we feel we can build this sport to an even higher point. But tonight, it's not about that. It's about celebrating 2025 and what an incredible year it has been. I've said it many times, this, without doubt, is the best touring car action on the planet. It's the envy of most, and it's the closest it's ever been. The fans own the sport, and they vote with their feet, their eyeballs, and their wallets. And quite simply, the facts don't lie. Attendance to all of our events across the year is up 11%. Our 13 events combined contribute $220 million of economic stimulus into the communities that we visit. Our broadcast ratings are up 17% for the year and 30% through the final series. Our streaming numbers on KO and 7 Plus have tripled, and our digital reach is also off the charts. 466 million engagements across the course of the year, up some 73%. Most importantly, the sport has a positive level of momentum, and we'll use that towards our ambition of being the number 3 in a dominant way behind only the AFL and the NRL. The final series, without doubt, has added entertainment and showbiz to an already insane championship. Toyota, of course, joins next year, which has been global news. We've expanded the calendar for more racing, for 14 events, and of course we have the New Zealand doubleheader, which will be extraordinary with Christchurch added. Our sanctioned partners and all of our major agreements are set in bedrock and done through to 2030. On the grid yesterday, of course, we had the momentous announcement with the Premier of South Australia, the South Australian Government's commitment and the South Australian Motorsport Board's commitment to have the grand final here in Adelaide locked in and confirmed till 2034. We continue to pursue a season opener for the ages, and we're working with Perth towards, hopefully, a 2028 outcome with a stunning opening round to our championship. In addition, we're also working with the New South Wales Government to replace Newcastle with some options, which will be extraordinary. All of this, of course, underpinned by our record media extensions, which we announced a little while ago. But above all, I couldn't and wouldn't want to run the sport without the support of the team owners and the teams who do such an incredible job. We've talked about transparency, we've talked about unity and a clear level of communication, and together we're striving forward, I think, in a great way. I appreciate your commitment, your dedication of yourselves, your teams, the unique characters you can be at times, and the fact that everyone loves this championship so incredibly much. I'd also like to thank our chairman, Barclay Netterfold. Barclay put together the group originally that came with race, and he, without doubt, is our number 1 fan. I also thank the race directors, Yuri Domaget, Ryan Whiteleg, Brian Lurst, and Shane Howard, who all have the trust in what we're doing. To our drivers and stars of the show, your athleticism and the way in which you commit to every single round and every single session is extraordinary. And we look forward to working with you to grow the sport and to put you more broadly into the community as the true stars of Australian sport that you are. Tonight in the room, we have a lot of sanctioned events and a lot of governments and tourism bodies. And quite frankly, we wouldn't have a calendar where we go to every state and territory and obviously to New Zealand without the support of all those bodies. In particular, we have Andrew Daniels, Chairman of the South Australian Motorsport Board, Mark Warren, CEO, and their team here tonight. Quite an extraordinary feat to think that we had more people, and these are Premier's words, not mine, more people at the circuit yesterday, combination of supercars and AC/DC, than at the AFL or NRL Grand Final. That's a full credit to these guys and to this room. Motorsport Australia do a magnificent job, and many of the team are here tonight, and of course all the marshals and the volunteers who are a huge part of our community. Running major events doesn't just happen without sponsorship, both at a series level and also at a teams level, and a lot of our sponsors commit so much more than just money. We work our backsides off, we never ever take it for granted, and we're always about making sure that we give you the best possible return on investment. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge our title sponsor, Repco, Rob Cameron, Wayne Bryant, and thank them for their support. It's also fantastic to have such strong support from our manufacturers, General Motors and Ford. Both have been in the sport for a long time and are deeply committed and have helped us drive this sport to where it is. And of course, Toyota joins that prestigious group in 2026. Adam Howarth from Foxtel and KO Sports is here, Chris Jones from 7 and 7 Plus, fantastic broadcast partners that tell our story with the ratings that I've talked about earlier. Combined with Sky Television, Sky Plus, News Corp and Triple M, they continue to do a wonderful job. Mighty little team, we used to call them white shirts at Supercars, who do a fantastic job. Many are here tonight, and I thank you for the absolute commitment and dedication in putting on some of the nation's biggest events. To all the partners tonight, the significant others, my beautiful wife Nikki, who's here tonight, thank you for letting us go away on weekends and missing all those things at home. Now to our 2025 champion. Firstly, I want to acknowledge what a massive change we've had with the final series in how the championship is decided. And I'd like to start by saying any of the championship four and their teams would be incredibly deserving champions. As Jess said earlier, a stunning rookie season for Kai and the team at Groves, absolute heartbreak for Broc after an incredible year, and an outstanding fight-to-the-death effort from Will Brown. But ultimately, the season, the finals and the grand final, it now brutally means there can only be one winner. So a massive congratulations to Chaz Mostert, to Ryan, to Martine, to Bruce and the entire Walkinshaw Andretti United team, who played in a magnificent game under incredible high pressure through the finals. Chaz, you are an absolute superstar, one of the most loved, respected and popular drivers on the grid, a true character, now a champion, and I must say, you have always been an incredible ambassador for our sport. So congratulations. So after a well-earned break, we get to do it all again. So let's make 2026 even bigger, better and bolder than we've ever been. Let's entertain, let's grow, and let's work together to take this sport to the next level. We've got great momentum and we're heading in a fantastic direction. Have a wonderful evening, happy Christmas, and I'll see you in 2026. Thank you.
Lovely to see you. Congratulations. Tell me about the weekend in Adelaide. Tell me about building into that moment and realising your dream.
Yeah, it's a very cool weekend here in Adelaide. It always is. So coming into the weekend nice and relaxed and just tried to perform the best I can. And we got a race win on Saturday and wrapped it up a day early. So it was very cool to do that. Had a little relaxed Saturday night and then go all again Sunday.
And really able to celebrate that moment on Sunday. You've announced that you're making the step up into the main game for Supercars next year. Congratulations. How does this help you gather some momentum heading into what is going to be a massive rookie season for you?
Yeah, it's really, really cool to wrap it up and to sign a main game deal before Adelaide is very important. It sort of took the pressure off a little bit so I could go in full focus on Super 2 and to be joining DJR next year, such a prestigious team, is very, very cool to me, and to be alongside Brodie is going to be awesome.
Rylan, I imagine you've got some people you'd like to thank.
Yeah, big thank you to Mum and Dad. It's a very hard game to get into, and so everything goes out to them. They support me through it all. It takes a lot of money and everything to get here, and they've been the biggest supporter for me, so a lot of thanks to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our Dunlop Super 2 champion, Rylan Gray. Broc, congratulations on the incredible season that you've had, but more importantly, congratulations on the way that you've handled yourself in the face of adversity. You've really shown the mark of a champion in the way you've carried yourself. I know the last 24 hours particularly has been really tough for you, but we've seen the highlights reel. It's long. You've got plenty of trophies this year and plenty to celebrate. So tell me, if you can narrow it down, what's been your most proudest moment this year?
Yeah, first, thanks to everyone that's here tonight. Obviously, everyone in this room is extremely important to making our big circus go round. So, look, it's very easy to be quite disappointed at the moment, but when we look back on that, it's been a fantastic season and something that I'll be very proud of for a long time. You know, to go on and break Scotty's record with most poles, to get 14 wins, it's something that I feel like I've set the bar quite high to chase down in the future. But look, the Sprint Cup this year was fantastic. I mean, the role that we went on through that middle period of the year was awesome. The Triple Crown was something that I had my eyes on for quite a long time, so to win that as well was great. But yeah, while I'm here, I just want to give a huge shout out to my crew, my family, all my friends that have come and supported me. Not just this weekend, but the whole season. I mean, Marty, Geordie's here tonight. I felt like we raised the bar a lot this year, and you know, I know Will pushed me a lot last year, and it's been awesome working with him, just raising the bar every time we go out on track. So I can't thank my team enough. I certainly wouldn't be here without him, and yeah, looking forward to having another crack next year.
Tell us a little bit more about that incredible run that you had through the middle of the season. I think it was 5 consecutive pole positions, 5 consecutive wins through Perth and Darwin. What changed? What shifted?
Yeah, I suppose it just kept getting better. We sort of had a good start to the year, but not great. We had a bit of a setback in New Zealand, and then really came out firing. And I was always just trying to prove myself to be better. You know, I went to Tassie, we won 2 races. I wanted to win 3. We went to Perth, won 2 races, and we finally got to Darwin and were able to execute a full weekend, which was awesome. So, as I said, it's something that we're obviously extremely proud of at Triple Eight to fight so hard. And to be honest, it's a credit, as I said, to everyone here. This championship is so tight. You know, watch a lot of motorsport around the world, and there's not many series that separated by a couple of tenths of a second. So to be able to do what we're able to do was fantastic. And yeah, what an awesome year it was through that middle part.
We loved every second of it, Broc. Congratulations, our 2025 Repco Sprint Cup winner. And it's great to have Wayne Bryant representing Repco to present the trophy to Broc tonight.
G'day, Jess. I've grabbed Nick Percat for a little bit of a word. He's surrounded by friends and family, sponsors, partners. Right now, it's been a pretty emotional weekend for you, Nick. Has it sort of sunk in that you've had your last chance here this week?
Oh, yes and no. Obviously, it didn't go out the way I hoped, but that is motorsport. It's never easy, and you know, like Broc alluded to, it's so hard in this game. So I'm privileged to have done it for so long, and tonight I got my parents, Ben, Lucy, James Rosenberg and Deb on the table, people that have been there since the start. And I've never invited them to a gala before, but I thought I'd bring them to the last one. So it's amazing to think that Dad's just a mechanic. He's got a little workshop here in Adelaide, and we managed to become full-time supercar driver, and all that is just incredible. So to win Bathurst, Adelaide 500, and some really cool events with 1-2 with Chaz, 1-2 with Cammy Hill was very, very cool. But I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I think it was a real show of character yesterday with the team I'm joining for Enduros with Triple Eight, the way they responded and reacted in the pits and showed their culture was what I'm really, really looking forward to with joining Broc and Triple Eight.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of followed Garth Tander up through the ranks, and you had a great opportunity to win your first Bathurst with him. We've seen what Garth's been able to do in retirement. Is that sort of what you want to go and do now?
No pressure, Broc. Just get it across the line at first, and we'll chalk a few more up. So, if I can... Oh, Garth's been amazing. He helped me out a lot when I was a young up-and-comer, probably extremely annoying. But that whole period through the Walkinshaw time, I can't, obviously can't forget Brian, Martine, and everyone that was involved in that time. To throw me in that car was crazy. So to win with Garth and everything he's done throughout that whole period and into the future was amazing. So if I can do half of what he's done would be amazing. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm looking forward to the next chapter and and seeing how the Triple Eight guys go about it, and just working with someone like Broc who puts so much into it off track is what's I'm excited to see how he goes about it.
You've obviously got the J&D stuff happening on the side with Bailey, but are you going to find a little bit of time for some wedding planning anytime soon?
You are hilarious. I think we're at like 38 weekends at a racetrack next weekend already. So no, I just live and breathe motorsport. I'm excited to give back to the sport that's given me so much. Yeah, sorry Bailey. Yeah, the sport's given me a lot. So for what we're doing with J&D, it's all about trying to find the young drivers that don't have the budget to show what they can do. So we're trying to do something pretty special and get some drivers with pure talent to get through to supercars. So if we can make that happen with just one driver in the next 10, 20 years, it would be an amazing outcome, because obviously it's a pretty tight industry now.
Well done, mate. Congratulations, everybody. Nick Percat saying farewell to supercars, but get the feeling there's a little bit left in this story, mate. Well done.
I'll try, and big thanks to, where is he? Oh, he's gone. Davo and JC. I couldn't have thought of anyone better to retire with, because obviously I wouldn't have got a guard of honour if it was just myself. So thanks for retiring at the same point. Gave me a bit of credibility, so thank you.
That's the perfect segue to you, Rihanna.
Thanks, Chad. Larco's media window closed on Sunday afternoon, so Will, you're stuck with me for this interview. But what a privilege it has been for me to be in the pit lane and witness you for the last 20 years in supercars, DJR, HRT, FPR, Erebus,
Keep going.
Techno, 23 Wed, DJR. Is that, I don't know, Noons, did I get that right? How do you sum up 20 years in this paddock?
Well, my greatest win is right here. Hey? Yes.
Fox tipped.
You can never normally say that in pit lane. Yeah, quite the ride, quite the journey that I'm still processing at the moment. Yeah, a sport that just gives you so much. It tears your heart out, but it gives you just incredible highs. The ups and downs, I've given my heart and soul to every moment. You're hard on yourself, but ultimately, yeah, I'm proud of the journey. It's been such a wild ride, and yeah, it's a bit surreal at the moment. The last few laps yesterday were a pretty weird feeling. It's probably the only word I can think of, but as Nick touched on, to walk down that lane with Nick, a good friend of mine, JC, we lived together so many years ago in the UK. We've all battled, we've all hated each other, we've all crashed, but we all share a major mutual respect and friendship, this whole community, this whole pit lane. So to be doing Doughy's there with JC at 9, at the end of the race, was a really, really cool feeling.
Bathurst victories at the Clipsal 500, the Gold Coast, Sandown, Phillip Island, all the big ones ticked. They're easy to say you're the highlights, but what about the times where maybe from the outside it wasn't so glossy, but the moments you're proud of?
Yeah, there's obviously some amazing victories and moments that I'm really proud of. But yeah, there's some tougher times. I've had the privilege of being in the biggest and the best teams that this sport has to offer. And I suppose I've had years in the smallest teams, single car teams, where it's tough to get a top 5 and you're fist pumping, you're high-fiving for a podium and a top 5 like you wouldn't believe. So that makes you appreciate the good times even more. So yeah, I've had it all over the journey, and yeah, I'm grateful for that. And where the sport's going right now is at an impressive high. So my mate Chazzy, congratulations. You're a young kid at FPR back in the day. And the level you've been at for some time now, I think you'd be a multiple champion if you're in a Shell V-powered Gen 2 Mustang. I give you that tip, but also to see the standard like your Broc Feeney's lifted to this year and what he's done this year has blown my mind. So my heart's hurting for him as well. But that's this new format we've got. So congratulations to both those guys.
Have you got any news for us? Announce what you're going to do next year aside from look after Dash?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be back on nappy duty. You can have a big night tonight, Ree, because No.
I do my best work at the gala for the people that have been coming for a long time.
Can you come back to my hotel tonight? Because
Okay, we're going to wrap this up now. Wrap it up. It's quite fitting that you, Nick, and JC are all retiring. Nick used to live with you and I. You used to live with JC, so it is a bit of a weird little family. Congratulations, Will, from me and the entire industry. Garth, are you standing by with JC somewhere?
I am indeed, Brianna. Thank you. The last man that we announced their retirement this season, James Courtney, 600 plus races, I'll get to that, 600 plus races, 2010 series champion, a serious body of work. Congratulations on your full-time career. What stands out the most for you? I mean, 2010 was pretty epic, but what stands out for you, mate?
Oh, for me, mate, it's all the relationships I've got throughout those 20 years. You know, we raced at amazing circuits, there's crazy events, you know, we've had wins and all that sort of stuff, but it's the relationships that I've made along the way and those friendships and those people that I've worked with, that their families have given them the time up or the ability to go away and let me do what I do, and you know, we have the best thing. We get to race the car, we get to spray the champagne, we have all the great stuff that comes with motorsport, but if we don't have all those people behind us that do that groundwork, they work so much harder than what we do. And if it wasn't for all the people in this room, we wouldn't be able to do that. So for me, what over those 20 years is definitely the relationships.
Now, when you announced your relationship, it was almost, you had a bit of a misfire. You sort of announced it without realising you announced it, your retirement. Did you change your mind halfway through that?
No, I was just doing this real estate thing, and I thought no one's going to be watching the news on the Gold Coast. Yes, I just rolled it out that I was going to retire at the end of the next season, and then Alan Gow, my manager, had a message in the morning. He's like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" And I sort of read a bit further, and I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "You announced your retirement." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he said, "Watch the video back." Bang, yes, I did. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. I announced it way earlier than what I should have. But look, in the end, I wanted to make sure I called it when I did. You know, there's been a tough call for a lot of guys like yourself that probably had the raw end of the stick. So I wanted, after such a long time, to be able to call it on my own. And yeah, it has been a long drawn out retirement, but thankfully we're all here. So there's no more Johnny Farnham. I swear I'm not coming back with You're the Voice. It is over now. You won't see me again in full-time racing, but I will be back for Enduros.
I wanted to ask you about that. What's in the future? If you live on the Gold Coast, don't buy any real estate from this guy. What else is in your future? You've announced that you're Team 18 for the Enduros. You do a bit of real estate. You're a guy that likes to be busy. So I was wondering whether there was a Johnny Farnham thing, you'd turn up at Sydney Motorsport Park round 1 and you'd be back full-time again.
I'd like to turn up. I don't know if I'll be racing. But no, look, I'm going to be busy. I've got 4 amazing children, a beautiful wife that's here, and my parents that are here this evening that have supported me over these. For us, it's been 38 years for Mum and Dad and I. It's been a wild, old journey. Zara and Cadell have been through divorces, races, me being away, all sorts of stuff. Those guys need a medal, not me. And then Tegan has been unbelievable over the last 5 or 6 years, really allowing me to stretch my wings, and it's just been an amazing end to my career, mate. I wake up every morning, well, I did up until today, pinching myself that I was a race car driver. So I said to Tegan this morning, I'm like, what do I call myself now? So it's going to be interesting. I'll still do the real estate stuff. That's cool. So if anyone's here looking for property on the Gold Coast, especially the northern end, I'm a specialist. I've got a lovely couple of properties on the market at the moment. So if you need something, just come and give me.
Right. Okay, that's enough of that. It's been an honour for me to have a chat with you. You're a right royal pain in the arse as a teammate when we're at the Holden Racing team. Congratulations, mate. Very well done.
Thank you, and it's thank you to everyone in this room. Every single person here has been giving me the ability to do what I do, and I gave you a rough time. No one thought we'd ever get on. Look at us. We're like mates now.
We still don't get on.
Well, you're lying to me. Thank you. I'll go. See you guys.
A round of applause for our Barry Sheen medalists, ladies and gentlemen. My friend, you look a little bit shocked. Yeah. What does this one mean?
This one means a lot, Jess. Not many people would know, but my dad was, pretty much best mates with Barry. Freddie, his son, worked for Dad, and And, you know, he's about 10 years older and, you know, he was like a big brother for me growing up. And I spent my young years racing motorbikes and all that. So I came to my first Supercars Gala in 2019 when I won the Super 3 Championship. And I remember the Barry Sheen medal being called out that night. And me and Dad were together and we just, you know, dreamt of what it would mean to win this medal one day. So, yeah, I can't thank, I suppose, all the fans enough. It has changed this year. I can't thank them enough for voting me. This is as special as it gets for me.
19 pole positions, 14 race wins, 19 podiums across the season. Can you narrow down one pole, one drive that was your ultimate performance this year?
Yeah, I suppose if I had to pick a pole, it was probably yesterday's one. It probably came at the most important time of the year. And then probably a race would be the final race at QR. I think, yeah, it felt like things were not going my way throughout that race and we had to work our way back through to get a win. So, look, we've had plenty of highs, plenty of lows this year as well. But, yeah, as I said, this one means a lot. Yeah, this one's for Dad. He can keep this medal. This is... He's been on this ride with me from day one. He's obviously the reason that I'm here today. So I'm so thankful for everything that you've done for me. And yeah, I'm sure he'd be pretty chuffed that we got this.
Before I let you go, how was the F1 car today?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Dr. Helmut Marko just called me before, so you won't need to put up with me next year. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it was unreal. I mean, my neck's a little bit sore. But it was a lot of fun. It's so fast. I'm sure, you know, for all of us in here, we dream of driving an F1 car one day, and I never thought that day would come true. So, yeah, thanks to Red Bull for making that happen. That's something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. It's been a pretty tough 24 hours, but it certainly put a smile on my face.
I couldn't think of anything better on a Monday morning than jumping on board an F1 car, particularly after everything that you've been through. That was such an unbelievable day on the mountain. Maddie, tell me, what has the reaction been since that day and since becoming a Bathurst champion?
Yeah, it's funny. You know, Garth said to me just exactly before we walked out onto the podium, it's a life-changing moment, and it does feel a little bit like that. You know, the amount of messages I've had from friends, family, people from New Zealand and Australia, it's pretty cool to see that support. It's really cool to see how many people watched the race this year. It's mind-blowing, actually. So it's I'm just so stoked that we could get it done. You know, being the race that it was. So yeah, just really happy for the whole crew at Penrite Racing. I know we worked our asses off for that one. And I'm just glad I could deliver for you guys.
Now, Woody didn't know how many times Murph had won on the mountain. I don't think you're ever going to forget that your co-driver this year is a 6-time Bathurst champion. Garth, for you, I know, was another dream come true on the mountain. Which one's your favourite out of the 6?
Oh, Jess, please. Before I start talking here, I'm just relieved tonight because I thought I'd have to do a post-Bathurst chat with a tall Kiwi that wasn't able to speak this evening because the first person I saw tonight when we walked in was Cam Waters, and he said, "Good luck with Matt tonight," because the drivers all go out for a lunch. Those that you don't know, the drivers go out for a lunch on Monday. And you can hear they have a pretty good time when they go out. So I thought, I knew we had to come up on stage, and I did ask Matt when we got here tonight. I said, "You right? Can you talk?"
I'm okay.
And he's okay, and he did a great job, so well done. Yeah, look, what's your favourite? It's like asking who's your favourite child. It's really tough to choose. This one was really particularly special because I said at the time on Sunday night after the race that I've probably done more work with Penrite Racing with my helmet off than with my helmet on. So to help with the development of Matt, to help with the development of the team over the last 3 years to get to the point where we're in a position to win that race with 20 to go. And it was an epic race with 20 to go. It certainly was. Cooper Murray, Matt Payne, James Golding and Dave Reynolds going at it for those last 20 laps. was just, I became a race fan. I forgot that I had skin in the game, that I actually drove that car earlier in the day because it was so captivating. So to get our team in a position that was able to potentially win that race was very, very satisfying. And it's not just Matt and I that do that work. It's a whole heap of team that are at Grove Racing that have built this team. David Couchy, Grant McPherson, Jack Bell, Alistair McVeigh, Brenton and Stephen Grove, the entire group that we've built there over the last 3 or 4 years, to get them in a position to win the biggest race of the year, that one for me was personally just as satisfying as any of the others so far.
Matty, you had so much to contend with over the course of the day, but particularly at the back end of this race. If you were to narrow down any one bit, what was the most challenging bit?
I think I was probably trying to keep it on the track, if I'm honest. There's a few moments there where, yeah, certainly I was, all I was thinking about was trying to keep it on the black stuff, certainly for a few laps. So, yeah, probably the moment I decided that I was gonna try and stick it around the outside of Cooper, and yeah, fair play to him. He gave me as much of a car's width as I probably needed. Although I didn't quite pull the move off, it still felt pretty cool, and I actually instantly thought in my head, I thought, shit, that'll look pretty good on TV. But yeah, that was probably the moment which had me in my head the most. But yeah, awesome race.
Yeah, we have watched it over and over and over again, and I'd say we're going to have a whole year next year to watch it over and over again as we count down to the Repco Bathurst 1000. Garth, this is the ultimate, isn't it? To go out and win Bathurst and then mic drop.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're going to miss most about taking on the mountain.
Oh, look, yeah, obviously it's a good way to finish. I mean, my very first start at Bathurst, I qualified 14th. It was 1998. I qualified 14th. I was next to Dick Johnson, and my father was a massive Ford and Dick Johnson fan when I was growing up. So I remember standing on the front of the grid thinking, oh, this is really, really cool. I'm starting the race, and I'm normally watching this on my couch at home with Dad. And then the light went off, I missed the start, and I lost about 4 or 5 spots down to turn 1 at the start of the race. So certainly ended my Bathurst career way better than it started. And, you know, I probably only had, at best, maybe 2 years left co-driving. And the way that race played out and the way that we executed that race as a team, I was like, well, I don't really see a race in my future that's going to be better than that. And to have my partner Cyan and my kids Scarlett and Sebastian there with me to share that one, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not sure we'll be able to top this one. So I feel incredibly fortunate to have had 27 starts at Bathurst. To win one was a childhood dream. I grew up racing go-karts as an 8-year-old in a little industrial suburb not far from Perth Airport, and to stand on the top step at podium was as far away gets. So to have 6 of them at the end of that journey is a real honour, and I feel incredibly lucky to have had that. So yeah, mic drop, I'm really, really comfortable with that, and I'm really excited about being part of Grove Racing in the future. I'm really excited about continuing to work in the broadcast and tell the story that is supercars, and I feel very, very lucky that I get to stay connected to the sport.
Matty, it has been... It's been an incredible year for you. You've got some serious silverware in the cupboard back at the workshop. 5 wins for you, and I know the Bathurst 1000 has to be your proudest moment this year, but when you put the whole campaign together, what are you most proudest of in the way the team has operated? Because it's been at a different level this year. And what are we going to see from you next year?
I think we're going to try and go out and go better in 26. For us as a team, you know, we've really stepped it up this year, and it's honestly due to a lot of it to our competitors. You know, like everyone alluded to, Broc's been super strong this year. Will, Chaz, Woody, you know, everyone's pushing us to be better, and that's so cool for our sport. You know, it's not often you get that. And it's a different feeling when everyone's pushing each other. So it's really cool to have. Obviously, my team, you know, and our team, you know, we can't thank them enough. They've been unbelievable this year, and we've really tried to push the boundaries. You know, Jack, Al, Shippy, Brenton, and Stephen. We've all tried really hard this year, and I think we've enjoyed a lot of cool trophies. So it's been really cool. But I think we're going to dig a little bit deeper for next year and try and go for the big one for the championship. So that'll be pretty cool.
Gentlemen, congratulations again on being Bathurst champions and, of course, Repco Enduro Cup champions. Garth, over to you.
I just forgot. It's always a worry when you start mentioning names on stage and you forget a name, so I'm not going to leave the stage without forgetting a name. I just want to acknowledge Jack Bell, who was our engineer at Bathurst, who won Bathurst at 26 as a race engineer. That's seriously impressive. And we've got a photo. We actually got a photo when I was racing for Holden Racing Team. Jack was about this tall, and he came to an autograph session, and he had a photo with James Courtney and myself, and we've got that one. So for Jack to have that success as a young guy at the start of his journey as well, congratulations, mate. That's really, really cool. It's great to share it with you.
For the Best and Fairest award.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Yeah, it means a lot, obviously. Very special. I'm very honoured to be up here tonight to receive one award, but to receive the Barry Sheen Award, the Jim Richards Award means a lot because it comes from a lot of you guys here. It comes from the fans at home. So, yeah, I suppose want to really just take the time to thank everyone that's got me here and put me in this position. My parents that have sacrificed so much over my 23 years of pretty much probably 20 years of racing. I've been at a racetrack since I've been 3 years old. I've got my whole family here tonight. I've got my brother, my nan, my auntie, my parents. I've got Marty and Geordie and the rest of the Red Bull Ampol racing team and all the sponsors. And, you know, Roland took a punt on me. All those people that are sitting here tonight had to back him and supported him to put a young kid into Red Bull Ampol racing. And, yeah, to be here a few years later and, you know, to win these awards is really special. It is really special. Winning on track's obviously fantastic, and we all try and push each other the most, but yeah, to sort of be voted by you guys and the panel that get to watch us go racing is really special.
How does the success of this year, but also the heartbreak, fuel you for next season?
Yeah, it obviously fuels me. It is tough at the end of the year, always going, oh, there's always next year, and you got to keep coming back and trying to be stronger. And I felt like I made a huge jump this year and tried to leave no stone unturned. And I think the work ethic that the 88 crew puts in and the whole Red Bull Ampol racing is something that I'm so proud to be a part of. And, you know, a few people have touched on it, but the way my team's conducted themselves over the past 24 hours, and I'm just so proud to be a part of this group of people. And coming in as a young guy, I want to be surrounded, you know, by people that I look up to and wanted to grow up and be like. And I'm so proud to be a part of Red Bull Ampol Racing, and I got no doubt I'll be sticking with them for the rest of my life. So, it is really hard to speak about. You know, I suppose yesterday I want to take the time to congratulate Chaz. There's no doubt he's a deserving champion. I think everyone can agree the run that he went on in this final series is something that he should be truly proud of. And he's a great role model for the sport. He's fantastic with the fans, with all the drivers. He's always been great to me. And I really want to congratulate him on what is a fantastic championship. You've honestly pulled together a run like the Broncos. You've got to the final and cracked on some great form. So congratulations to you. Yeah, I'm going to try and come back stronger. I mean, we've had a great year, but we can always try and raise the bar. There's lots to be proud of and reflect on, but yeah, I hope I make it harder for you guys next year.
It was, in fact, 10 years ago I stood here and had the honour of giving that inductee into the Hall of Fame to the Stone brothers, Jimmy and Ross Stone, and I really loved doing that because at the end of the day what we do is race cars, and amongst all the glitz and glamour, I guess, and the hoo-ha, it's the people in this room, the engineers, the mechanics, the teams that work tirelessly to extract every piece of performance out of the car that they possibly can. And sometimes that also comes from the driver's seat, not always. So this year's inductee, I'm loving doing this one as well because this person is very much in the mould of Stone Brothers. Dedication, commitment, leadership by example, tireless, endless nights trying to make the car faster and faster and faster. In fact, this guy, for me, is cut with a very similar cloth to an Alan Moffat or a Mark Scaife or a Jamie Whincup. They don't just drive the car, they take responsibility for the outcomes. they get involved in the engineering, the direction, and they lead by example. And this guy's a great example of that. And isn't it funny that this guy would come out of the Stone Brothers stable? This Tasmanian Tiger, he knocked it out of the ballpark, 2 championships, 2003 and 4, and he left us. But he's left a marvellous legacy about how to go about the game. A fierce, tough competitor that drove the team forward from the workshop, at the track, and from the driver's seat. So the 2025 recipient into the Hall of Fame amongst some incredible players, the icons and the titans of our sport, Marcus Ambrose. Marcus, I'm standing here not in the remotest bit surprised that you're a recipient of this award. You've been away from us a bit, but you've never left the Supercars family. You're very much part of the furniture.
Thank you so much. Look, I'm very humbled with this award. I never expected in a million years that I'd even make it to Supercar, and to be here in the Hall of Fame. Barry Sheen, obviously a good friend of mine too, back in the day. To see the award get given to a worthy person with Broc is incredible. It's a special moment for me, of course, my family. So thank you to Sonia and Adelaide for being here, my daughter, and Mark Roworth, of course, who saved me from fudging and fumbling my way through my first Stone Brothers contract to be here. I was only in the sport from 2001 to the end of 2005, but it was just an amazing time to be part of the sport.
We have a funny story, Marcus. I remember when Marcus arrived in 2001, it was the Melbourne Grand Prix, in fact, and I make him responsible for ending the careers of Larkham, Brad Jones, Radisich, Johnson, Crompton, Seaton, because we're all battling with the AU Falcon. And along comes this little whizzer back from Britain and puts it on pole at his first race. And I think put it on pole at Bathurst later that year. A very particular talent and great achievements, Marcus. But you have been always part of our furniture, but you've taken on the world, which is just fabulous, had some success there. Tell us what you see. I'm intrigued, the change in supercars from when you were here to what it is today.
Well, the first thing is I feel so welcome to be back in the Supercar garage,
you are,
right?
Mate,
and that's special. I've got a lot of friends here from the past that are still in the business, a lot of new faces, whether it's drivers, mechanics, even the staff at Supercars. They just treat me and my family with so much respect, and it really is building such a heritage, the sport. I was part of the whole Tony Cochran thing when he first came in, and he had the tent at Sandown, and he spoke this giant story about how amazing Supercar was going to be and this and that, and I shipped off to England, and I came back 2 years later, and the sport was enormous. And so, I just feel really privileged to be here and to be welcomed like I am today. The sport's in great hands. We've got some amazing young drivers coming through. The Gen 3 car has certainly been implemented and all the bugs are out of that. We've got an amazing new format to do. We've got some great personnel running the sport. Obviously, it's just going forward and forward. This event this year that we just witnessed was just incredible. Like, I've won a couple of Adelaide 500s. But at the scale of what it is today, it's just next level, and we're so lucky to have it in this country. Per size of our population, I don't think there's a better championship anywhere in the world.
J-Dub, great to see you. Congratulations. It's been an incredible season. It's been such a massive team effort. What does it mean to be able to operate at this level as a champion team for 13 seasons?
Yeah, thank you, Jess. Good evening, everyone. I'm actually here on behalf of our team owner, Mark Dutton, who's just got on a plane to LA, who's part of the crew that are preparing the cars for the wind tunnel for our parity testing. So a big shout out to all the team personnel and certainly Supercar personnel who are already getting ready for the 2026 season. But this trophy means a lot, no doubt. It's we've got an incredible team. I couldn't be more prouder of them. They do an incredible job week in, week out. We all know in this room how hard it is to even prep 2 cars, let alone get 2 into the final series. So couldn't be proud of everyone. An apology to Brocco and the 88 crew. We're so sorry we couldn't get it done for you this year. We did everything we could, but we'll make sure we rectify that well and truly into the future. But we had an incredible year. All those results that you talk about, we're very, very proud of. But as you all would have witnessed, yesterday was the worst day I've ever had at the racetrack, to be honest. And I've had a few. You know, you look at the Bathurst highlights. There's been a few from me. But yeah, yesterday was with all the results to come away absolutely gutted. That's what the sport's all about. It must be in the disclaimer somewhere. We don't read it when we sign it, but you can't have the highs without the lows. We've had some incredible highs, but yesterday hurt. But I want to make sure, and it's important to us, that our story only adds to the Chaz Mostert WAU story. Broc said it incredibly well. You guys are deserving champions. You did an incredible job. You did the job when it mattered. So from us to you, congratulations. It's been an incredible season and well done.
Just quickly on your drivers, it was no mean feat to have 2 cars inside the top 4. Tell me a little bit more about how both Will and Broc really rose to the occasion this season.
The drivers did an incredible job. No doubt. We've got a crew of 70 people. We're an engineering business, but we've got a crew of 70 people. And when we see the glitz and the glam of the cars going around the track, the work that goes on, the dedication, I can't talk about it too much, I'm going to tear up, but when you're still there at 10 o'clock at night, getting cars ready to get to the track, to compete, have some fun with your friends, it's humbling to see the dedication, which is why trophies like these mean so much.
I know you've got a really busy off-season. I don't think there is an off-season for you guys. Big changes for you next year and an exciting one.
Yeah, 100%. There's a few of our crew here, but majority are back. We've got an engine shop we're starting. Kenny showed how much joy that is on the weekend, running an engine shop. But no, we're looking forward to that challenge. Obviously, new cars. But before you kick me off, Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great break, recharge the batteries, and look forward to doing it again in 26.
How does it feel now to be standing here as the champion? I know it's been a big 24 hours for you to see a standing ovation from your peers and community. Has it all quite sunk in yet?
No, not at all, Jess. So, thank you so much, everybody. It's a dream come true from a little boy from the back of Logan. Hearing Marcus's story and Garth's story tonight, just, all these years ago, as just a go-karter kid, just living a dream, wasn't any good at any ball sports or anything like that. So thank God I found racing, and it all panned out pretty good. But look, it's amazing. Hear everyone's words tonight. Everyone touches how much this community means, and to all the teams out there. And this year was, as every team knows, and personnel, it was absolute chaos. Like the tight turnarounds between cars at the workshop, getting cars in containers to go to New Zealand. It's a real credit of what this sport is and what the teams do for it. So congratulations to all the teams managing that, all the personnel. What an amazing sport to keep the wheels going. Saying that, I just want to also touch on, Broc, mate, seriously, what a fantastic year for you and your whole team. You've raised the bar, like the amount of poles, wins. I pretty much shout that every driver in this room is in awe of what you've done this year. And no doubt, with the old format, you would have already been crowned champion before the last round. So congratulations to Broc. Seriously, what an amazing year. To the other 22 drivers, including myself, and I can definitely vouch on this. I've been lucky enough to drive in some cool race cars around the world. We have some of the best talent, not just only in Australia or New Zealand, but around the world. And also joining this weekend, even from America. So welcome to Australia, Austin. I don't know, but do you want to ask any more questions?
Yeah, no, I've got heaps more questions.
I can actually remember this one, so it's pretty good.
I know, I'm really impressed.
Yeah,
Is
thank
this
you.
the most sober you've ever been at a gala?
No.
You've had good practice at it. You and I caught up on Monday before the week really started, and I said to you at the very end of the interview, Chaz, do you believe in fairy tales? And you said yes. Tell me what a fairy tale this final series has been for you starting on the Gold Coast.
Well, of course I believe in fairy tales. I'm like Will Davo, I'm a bit of a smooth operator. I met my wife, so I believe in fairy tales, of course. So look, it's unbelievable. Like the final series gave us a real shot. It gave the underdogs a real opportunity to really strive, and kind of touched on a little bit. There was a couple of moments for our team at Walkinshaw and Andretti United which really shaped our year, and was rolling out round one and creating this whole year to give up some sacrifices and do some hard learning throughout the year to make sure we could come to these final 3 races and put our best foot forward, and I'm really proud of that because no doubt everyone in our team felt at certain points like, are we seriously going along this path? Are we still doing this journey? And it's, amazing that it all panned out. The second part was the heartbreak our team had at Bathurst. It either makes or breaks a team. You either just throw in the chips and you give up, but every guy and girl in our organisation put the arm around each other just like human beings would, because everyone in that garage had a tear in their eye that it didn't work out, and that I think was probably the last final thing that got us across the line this year. So proud of that. It's been crazy.
So many iconic moments for you this year, winning the championship definitely, but the beer at Bathurst, that went viral globally. Can you quite believe that you've been able to have that impact, not just on the track this year, but off it too?
Yeah, that was, looking back on it, it could have been a really touchy moment. We're a little bit sometimes some bad role models, I suppose, on drinking a beer at certain points, but being Australian culture that we are, which I'm so grateful, is when you have such a bad day and sometimes you just need to get away from it all and just get back to what the core part of our job is, which is fans, the Bathurst, its culture. It really helped me get through a really tough spot. So I'm so grateful that it was taken the right way, and yes, this year's just been crazy. I'm trying to reflect on 13 years, like the amount of years I've been sitting in this crowd and going like, wow, that would be so cool to stand up here and receive a championship and do the job when it counted. It just shows in awe of the amount of champions that have been before me, and like I said, this year, obviously the format's changed so much and it's really rewarded the underdog. I'm so proud.
We made the comment on Saturday after the race that we didn't think we've ever seen you drive the car so hard. You were so determined out there. Just how hard have you pushed yourself this year, both physically and mentally?
Yes, if you ask my engineer Sam, probably drove the car a little bit too hard on Saturday. Pretty much tried to reshape the whole model. So if AAA are looking to reshape the Ford Mustang next year, there's pretty good aero in that one from the Saturday tyre bundle. So just have a look at that. But yeah, look, it's just been so cutthroat the whole year. Getting the finals, it even amped up, and there's been cracks along the way between all the finalists, as we've seen, and I think it's really created an amazing spectacle of where supercars are going in the future. I'm a massive AFL and NRL fan, and when you watch quarterfinals and semi-finals and grand finals, it creates big pressure moments, and it's definitely different for our sport, but the amount of people we had on the weekend in the stands, maybe it might have been a bit biased to come for AC/DC and just watch a few cars race around. It's unbelievable, and just look, there's going to be people that will take a bit of time to get used to the format and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the viewership is up. There's more people coming to the track, and that's what we want to do. We want to put on a good show. We want to race hard and have every brand that's on our cars that supports us. We've got to give them guys the value in the sport. So yeah.
Yeah, well said. You're going to run the #1 plate next year. What are you going to do?
Well, yeah, look, it's pretty tricky. I mean, I watched Gizzy come up here, and he's so attached to his number, and I am a little bit too, because 25's been a pretty remarkable spot for me. I've been lucky enough to represent some amazing numbers in supercars, but look, it would be pretty unfitting if we didn't run 1 and 2 at Walkinshaw and Andretti United. So yeah, we'll run the #1 next year. So yeah, pretty excited about that. But yeah, just to touch on it, like 12 years I've been in this sport now. I want to have a massive shout out to a few people if I have the time.
The floor is yours, Chazzy.
It all starts with obviously our parents. I couldn't be here today without Mum and Dad mortgaging the house and getting me to where I am, from go-karts to Formula Ford. I was this little pimply kid in Formula Ford, wanted to try and get into supercars, and went with a development series team with Wayne and Di Miles out of a small team out of one of the old Stone Brothers sheds at Yatla. They took a punt on me coming out of Formula Ford. We didn't get great results, but we were a little team, and they believed in me, so thank you so much for giving me that shot. There's a couple of people down here in the front table here that really believed in me when I got the opportunity to go to was it ProDrive, FPR or Tickford at the time? I can't remember the name. There were so many name changes through that period. But how fitting that Mark Roworth's here tonight, Tim Edwards, you guys saw something that possibly I didn't even see in myself, and give me a chance, go on development series with absolutely no money to get me into my second year of development series. So thank you so much for believing in young talent in Australia to get me here today. So thank you so much for that. obviously then to lease me out to Dick Johnson Racing at that time to keep, getting experience and going forward. I really loved that first year in 2013 with Dick and Jill and Ryan Story and the whole team there. Just that little team that was on the back burner. The results we had in that first year just absolutely smashed it out of the park. So just can't thank you guys for giving me my first crack in main game. Then coming back to FPR and the amount of years we were there, it was amazing. Looking under Frosty as an amazing teammate, having times, looking at Will Davo, just the amount of amazing drivers that drove at that organisation at the time, and all the team members. The amazing thing about this sport is just every guy and girl in the team that gives it all the same amount of passion as lucky as us drivers at the end of the day is something really cool. So thank you so much for my time there. I appreciate you guys backing me all the way till then. And then obviously lastly, not least, my team at Walkinshaw and Andretti United, thanks so much for taking me on the next part of my journey. It's just been amazing. A Bathurst win together, now a championship. All our dreams have come true, and I'm so excited for the future and what we've got in store for next year. And to win a championship in Ford as well has been unreal. So other than that, I'm just been rambling now. I just want to thank my wife, Ree, Everly, best thing that's ever happened to me. This championship is no doubt the second best thing that's ever happened to me. And just thank you, all you guys in this room. It's an absolute honour to stand in front of you. Thank you.
Chaz, you are such a deserving champion. You are such an incredible ambassador for our sport. There is not one person in this room that is not absolutely thrilled for you to have realised your dream. After 13 long, hard years, you've done it. You are the 2025 Repco Supercars champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please be on your feet as we congratulate Chaz Mostert, our champion for this season.
Well done, mate. Well done. Thank you. All yours, buddy. Okay. Can I talk later? Yeah. Jess? Jess? Come on, Jess.
Let's get some beers! Woo!